All right, happy Thursday, everyone. So this goes, this is to our YouTube community. We're going to do a little Ray Charles basic beginning things, and also to our Blues Academy members. We have 13 or 14 people. Let me get my list. I want to give shout outs real quick, and then we'll get started. Hold on a second. All right, so I want to give a shout out to Dave P, to Dave W, to Claire, to T-Man, to Peter, to Ian, to David D, to Charity, to Vicky, to Pat, to Bill, to Ted, to Martin, and to Raymond. You guys are awesome. And we've been working out of the Blues Academy. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you guys a PDF, a simple PDF, and we're gonna do two things. We're gonna work on some Ray Charles things, and then we're gonna go to the Blues Volume 2, and then we're gonna work on one specific lick. Let me show you the lick we're gonna work on. And then this from Blues Volume 2, we're gonna do a really cool lick. And it's the first lick in Blues Volume 2. Those of you that have Blues Volume 2, and it does this C6 lick, and then it keeps going up, minor third to major third, up to the flat 7. And then you go to this part right here. All right, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to practice. Even that one lick gives you 3 different ideas. So we'll come back to that. So I want to pull up something here. This is my Blues. This is for the Blues Academy thing. Let me do this, guys. You guys like this video, and let me put this link in my Google Drive, and let me give you guys a link to this, okay? If you want this, go ahead and just put that in the chat, and I will upload that so you guys can do a direct download and enjoy that. Give me 1 second. If you would, while I'm doing that, just put your first name, tell me where you guys are from, like the video, and let's get rolling. 1 second. All right, I'm about to put the link in the description, but go ahead again and at least somebody say hello in the chat. I want to make sure the chat's working. And hey guys, grab our chart. Boom, there you go. All right, again, make sure you like the video and say hello if you get a chance. So we do have a Blues Academy, and I have 14 amazing people. 6 of them have been with me since from a year and a half ago, and then we have 6 more that signed up this last week, which is cool. All right, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. Let's dig into this stuff. Everybody grab the PDF. When you get the PDF, let me know that you have it. And I'll start very simple. We're gonna talk about a couple of things that gives you confidence in the blues. I just got off of answered an email to Karen, who is a classical pianist that has turned into jazz and blues. She was talking about confidence and wanting to get more confidence. So the first thing that I like to teach, all of this will be relevant to the lesson. Awesome. What's up, Vicky? Vicky is a member of our Blues Academy. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love this shape 1. You guys know if you've been hanging out with me, I like to teach the first shape of the blues, right? The first 5 notes. It's the beginning to some serious confidence. So let me just explain this again. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do C, E flat, F, F sharp, G. And notice my fingers are hovering over each note of the first 5 notes of a blues scale. How do you find any blues scale? Use the 1 of the major scale, the flat 3rd, you take the 3rd, you lower it, the 4th, the sharp 4, and the 5. This puts you into blues shape 1. Oops, and I can see that I'm not even in the right place. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so blues shape 1. Even this right here, and this is specifically going out to Karen, is the idea of you have your blues going in the left hand, C, G to C, A. And even this, I can play in what I like to call automatic pilot to get where I'm locking up the hands. Just back and forth. And then you can start turning it around. So I don't even have to be looking at the keyboard and already just set myself up for 5 notes that are going to work over every single chord, even when I go to F. All right, so now we're building some serious confidence with just one simple shape. Now let me take it a step further and just to let you guys know that we're about to even dig into this Ray Charles stuff, and it's going to all, again, be relevant. But you talk about building confidence, even an absolute beginner can learn this shape. And then you take this shape and you go down 3 half steps, and now you play the same shape but in A. So using the different scale, the relative minor of C, which means you have C major, and this is a very closely related scale, A minor, all white notes still. And now you do this. So now you have that same shape, right? Even these 2 shapes right here gives you some crazy confidence for playing the blues. If you're in the key of C, you can use shape 1. Which, just a funny note is when I came up with that blues shapes in all keys, it's been one of my most popular courses. And the reason is because with simple shapes, you can really get some confidence in any key. So watch this, for instance, shape 1, you have this. And then the shape 2 is actually down here. Actually, that's not shape 2. Shape 1 is here. Shape 2 is here, the top half of the blues scale. And so your middle finger goes to the tonic of whatever key you're in if you're doing a C blues. And now you have the top of the blues scale. So all of these notes are going to work in your improvisation. Listen to this. Even when I go to F, isn't that amazing how that works? So then, let me tell you this, if you have shape 1, which connects to shape 2, shape 3 is actually shape 1 transposed down to the A scale, first 4 notes. And now you have all those notes that are going to work over any chord in the blues. You have shape 1, shape 2, or shape 3. And then you can take it to the next level, let's just say that we've worked on that a while. We still want to have the major sound of the blues, right? We have C blues scale. Let me show you this before I tell you the next thing is this note F sharp, which is the tritone of the blues, the sharp 4 away from the major scale. This transition note, I put my 4th finger on that. So as I'm transitioning from this, I could stay up here all day and make up different melodies, but watch this. Transition 4, and notice that I get right back into shape 1. So the key thing, no matter how far up or down I'm playing the scale all over the keyboard, I'm concentrating on getting to that F sharp. All right, now if you guys are enjoying this, please put it in the comments and be bold and just put your first name and say hello in the chat if you're enjoying this. Make sure you guys download the chart because we're just about ready to dig into the Ray Charles. And this, so with my Blues Academy, we go live 4 days a week and we have a lot of fun. And I'm bringing you into this world because it's so much fun, all these things that we're doing. And we're going to dig in just a second. So when somebody gets that PDF, let me know that you have the PDF. In the meantime, I'm going to keep teaching. Now, Ray Charles, I did a whole workshop on Ray Charles ideas. And one of the things we did is we took the song What I'd Say, where it has the bass line. Now, I do a whole little workshop on left-hand bass lines only, so we work on learning how to do that. But the most important thing is learning how to lock up the hands together. Now, in this PDF, you're going to see some important things. Let's look at this first example right here. So you have Blues Academy lesson. The link is in the description. Just download it and enjoy that. And then right here, you're going to see this measure. We're not even going to do the left hand. We're just going to do the right hand. I want to show you some really cool tips. So in the end of What I'd Say, the actual lick is like this. Awesome, Helga. That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, listen to this, guys. You can do different fingerings on this stuff. When I started learning about piano, I actually started with a classical background first. It was a very short time before I got right into jazz, but I wanted to do everything with really strict fingering, right? I had a really good teacher, and he was showing me how to do scales and arpeggios and everything, but then I started learning about different kinds of fingerings that don't really make sense when we think about it, but like this, for instance, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 2, where you're sliding off. But there's a certain sound that you get from doing these kinds of fingerings. So let's actually just spend some time working on this one idea. So you see the grace notes up there. You have F to F sharp and to G. Whenever you see those smaller notes, those are grace notes. And what that means is my target note, the most important note on the downbeat, is going to be that G. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, 2. Here's option 1 for fingering. 1, 2, 2, 4, 5. And then you go 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now this fingering sound feels like it might be a little bit strange. We might not be used to that. I used to play it like this, but you can't get the right sound unless you do these things where you 3 to 3 or 2 to 2. This takes practice, guys, getting used to actually doing this where you're sliding off one finger to the next. All right, so let's work on that. If I'm practicing it very slowly, I'm going to go 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let me try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let me know if this part of it is making sense, because this is really important part of today's lesson, is showing you one simple Ray Charles lick, and we'll show you different bass lines to use with this, and also different ways to use this specific lick. So even though we're working on this one right here, we're going to go down to this measure, and I'll show you a really cool trick. Is that in this song, in the song What I'd Say, where he's doing this, he does this, right? But you can actually play this lick right here, the same idea. You're starting on the 5th of the scale, but you can actually do the same thing starting on the flat 3rd. So even though I'm in C, right, I could go, or, so this has the same idea that I just was that I showed you at the very beginning of the lesson. I said you can do the first 5 notes of the blues scale, or you can do the A blues scale notes. It's the same concept, that now I'm in this A shape, but I had that same Ray Charles kind of idea there. Okay, so if you're with me, then again, put in the chat that you're enjoying this and that you have the PDF and that you understand it. The fingerings are actually written out. Okay, so to make sure I get the most out of this lesson with you guys, I want to actually start from the beginning of the PDF. Now, this might be a review for some of you guys. My Blues Academy members know that every day, 4 times a week, we go through all of this stuff, and we do lots of repetition. Repetition is your friend. The very first thing that I notice is my minor 3rd to major 3rd, E flat to E, and I'm actually using 4 and 5, and then I go down here to this chord right here. This is a 2-note chord. It's called guide tones when we have the 3rd of the scale with the flat 7 of the scale in this case. The 3rd tells you whether or not the chord is major, happy sound, or a minor. In this case, our 3rd and our flat 7. Normally C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C is major, but we flat that. So now we have a C7 with guide tones. Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh. Normally, I'm at my other keyboard, which has the cameras and everything. You see me and you see everything. But for those that are at my academy know that I went to the chiropractor today, and I'm actually, my neck's all messed up from looking over at the camera and trying to do the lessons for long periods of time. So anyway, we're working on my setup to change that to make it easier. But for now, for today, we're on this kind of easy way of getting just going and not worrying about the cameras. So let me do that again of just, you're looking for the 3rd note and the 7th note, and you flat it. That's a guide tones for a C7. And 2 notes, this 3rd tells you it's major, happy sounding, and then the 7th note of the scale, you flat it, now it tells me it's dominant or kind of a bluesy sound, right? So now we have this so far. So even this 2-note chord gives me some confidence, right, of playing a comping chord. What does it mean to comp? You're complementing the soloist. In this case, I'm the soloist playing this fun thing of minor third to major third. Now, just this very first lesson, it's a great teaching moment. A couple things are happening. One is you're going minor third to major third, which is a great sound of the blues. The second thing I notice is that I'm practicing comping. So I'm soloing and then comping. And I could keep changing up the rhythm. I could go. So these are guide tones, the 3rd and the 7th. So when I go to the F chord, my guide tones are very smoothly connected because now I'm on an F scale, an F chord, and I go flat 7, 3. So a 3 flat 7 of C scale, 3. We always spell our chords left to right. 3rd in the flat 7 note turns into a flat 7 of an F scale, E flat, up to the 3rd note. So now we have a smooth transition and guide tones. That's what when we talk about that, we're talking about smooth connections. The 3 flat 7 turns into a flat 7, 3. And listen how smooth that is. Now watch this. Even if I wanted to go to G, which is the 5 chord of the blues, listen how smooth that is. 7 flat 3. Right, we have that. Okay, now, what I want you guys to do next is notice that you have the 2 dots here. With all of these exercises, the way I broke up this PDF is just an idea of focusing on one thing at a time. So these first 2 measures, you have a really good couple of tips. You have your major third to minor third, you have guide tones, which if you have more experience, you're going to put into all keys. Again, make sure you like this video. I see people coming in. You can say hello in the chat. Definitely like the video. Let me know that you're enjoying this. And most importantly, download that free PDF and just enjoy it. All right, in the left hand, notice this bass line. What's going on here? The first thing I notice is the triad. Now, for those of you, and I keep forgetting to do that. I'm sorry, guys, about putting the camera down. So I have to go to the PDF for a second. If you notice, the rhythm on it is quarter notes, C, E, G, and then there's 8th notes, A and G. So what's happening here is outlining the triad, C, E, G, A, G. And one thing I'm noticing, if I'm doing quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. My finger is going to be the same no matter what key I'm in. I'm doing a C arpeggio, a C chord, and then I put the 6th note in on the 4th beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so if I was in the key of F, I get the F triad, or a G, or A flat. Let's do D flat one more. You see how I'm building confidence. It doesn't matter where your experience level is, you need to be able to, one, play this in a key that's familiar to you and you learn it there. And then you're building up muscle memory to be able to really do this bass line in all keys and pretty easily once you learn the shape and once you learn about your major scales. Okay, so let's look now at the second, now that we have that bass line,